Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to Therapeutic Edge. It is very nice to have you here today. I've got something new on the table, and it is new from the folks at Lynch Northwest. Now, Casey Lynch has been in the EDC community for a very long time. His company is responsible for my absolute favorite aftermarket pocket clips. Let's see, by way of example, they make fantastic Benchmade clips. Yes, they do. What else do I have on the table that is Lynch? They also make really nice clips for Chris Reeve. This is a two-piece clip. I really like this. I'm getting another one of these for my drop point on. Look, I just prefer deep carry clips, and a lot of knife companies don't care that I like them, so they don't do it. You can get less expensive clips from other companies for sure. Just for fair's sake, MXG makes a really nice clip, but Lynch makes the best as far as I'm concerned. So there was recently a knife show up in Oregon, and Casey Lynch was sharing on Instagram that they were going to be there and they were going to be releasing a new fixed blade. And I had a friend that was attending that show he had a table, and I said, please go find the Lynch Northwest table for me and get me one of these new fixies. I'm really curious. I really like fixed blade knives. As a camper and outdoors person, I always carry a folder, of course, but I always carry a fixed blade in varying sizes depending on what I'm doing. I carry a fixed blade when I go to the garden. A fixed blade knife is better at most things than a folder, except ease of carry, right? So he was there for a day or so. He poked around and he found the table and he sent me a bunch of pictures. And he said, which one do you want? And without asking too many questions, I chose this one. Now, it turns out that I chose the most expensive. I did. I chose the most expensive. This one is titanium scales in Magna Cut. Is that going to show up? There we go. With this sort of stepped grind. And it is fantastic. It is really comfortable. It's got a lovely little choil down here for sharpening. You can get all the belly down on the table. It is just a superb cutting tool. Comes with it's a very nice leather sheath. I prefer Kydex, just sort of overall. I prefer Kydex, but I'm not going to argue with this. It fits on a belt really well. It's an easy carry. I showed a short of this when I first got it. I was so excited, and I called these a leaf. They're feathers. I knew that. Even at the time, I knew that, but sometimes you don't want to remake a video just for something stupid, so I didn't. But today, we're going to take a look at the Lynch Northwest Sparrow 7. From end to end, I've had it now for a while. I have used it at the garden. I have taken it hiking with me. We'll talk about why I like it. How's that? No? Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and do this anyway. Until this arrived, my absolute full-time carry for hiking and walking and camping and stuff was this. This is the Chris Reeve Nyala. I've had this for about 7 years. This was I should know that because this was a wedding gift from my wife to me on the day of our wedding. Because she knows me. But it has all the features that I really like in a fixed blade knife. There are, of course, less expensive versions, but this one is mine. I like a lot of belly. I prefer a drop point over like a Tanto. I prefer decent thickness to the blade stock. I like, exposed tang. I want the handle to be taller than it is thick, and that way, you get a really good grip on it. This is the knife that I compare all of the fixed blades that I get a hold of, either for review or for my own personal collection. I probably have 20 or so various fixed blades at this point. And I knew almost immediately that this one was going to be a very close second. The handle's a little lean, as you can see. That makes for a great carry. It could be a little thicker. The nice thing about this is because they are, just as all fixed blades, removable scales, well, for the most part, all fixed blades. I could have thicker scales made, for my Carter or something, but I really like these titanium scales. The MagnaCut, look, I haven't gone out and hammered this thing through hardwood or anything, but it hasn't even, I haven't even scuffed the stonewash. And I've cut, it's been in the garden, it's done some digging. Don't do stuff like that with folders, but with fixies, I had to dig out something that worked just fine. It's got plenty of belly. If I could change anything, I would add some jimping up here. You tend to do a lot of work like this with a fixed blade, at least I do, and so a little bit of jimping up here where my finger lands would have been a nice touch, but that's okay. It has their lovely little feather logo on it. It's got the Lynch Northwest logo on this side, and of course it says MagnaCut under here. It has a lanyard spot. I don't lanyard, but if you do, they got you covered. The Sparrow 7 is one of those knives that, okay, so as you guys know, if you're in the community or paying any attention at all, there are a lot of, like YouTubers, for instance, that have knife companies now. And awesome, right? It's a big market. There's lots of room for folks. One of the reasons that I tend to like the reviewer knives, or the within the community knives that come out, is because they tend to be designed from people who have handled and used a lot of knives. And it shows. Even company like SOG. What do I have? I've got the... Sorry about that. I've got this sitting around. This is a knife that was built with a more tactical, I hate that word, but a more tactical use in mind. It's really grippy and everything, but it's not that good for daily tasks because it's not supposed to be, right? This is a sort of an emergency tool. This is sort of a pokey, stabby, slashy, choppy tool. And it's got a little skull crusher on the back. In that regard, this thing is great, but what do I do when I carry a knife? I'm cutting packages open, I'm cutting gardening material, I'm cutting food. And that's where designs like this are just superior to the more tactically designed knives. I could carry a dagger, but it wouldn't really serve me. Knives like this do. Now, mine was about $350, $320, I think. You can get these in CPM 154 with G10 scales for a lot less money. But if you were looking for just an excellent EDC size, great daily user fixed blade, and the CPM 154 don't have this stepped grind. That's a personal choice. I like it. It will interfere a little bit with very thin slicing. So if you're buying one of these to dice onions, that might not be the right blade for you, but you don't have to have that. So when I carry a fixed blade, rambling on, it just needs to be an excellent all-purpose tool. Now, don't get me wrong. There is plenty of poke going on at the front of that thing. But it's just a useful, excellent tool. I'm really happy with them. I don't know Casey Lynch. I know a lot of people in the community and knife industry at this point, but I don't know the Lynch folks. I do know that I have about 14 or 15 of their pocket clips. I've got a baseball hat. I got some other stuff. They've just never produced, to my experience, produced a bad product. And so this is no different. Let's get the basic specs out of the way, shall we? You are looking at just at 3 inches of cutting on 3.5 inches of, in this case, MagnaCut grip area from behind this sort of forward choil. This is a really thoughtful design, by the way, because you can do a really good pinch right here. And even when you're holding it in a more traditional grip, you're nice and close to the blade. That's well sorted. Sorry, I'm rambling on. Grip area is 4 full inches, which is really nice. Got a little handle sticking out the back. From tip to tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So maybe they should have called this the Sparrow 7.5. Okay, dad jokes. Sorry. I do like the sheath. Like I said, I'm not really a leather sheath guy. Just time and trials and experience have shown me that leather is wonderful right up until it's not. Whereas Kydex, not only does it take more abuse, but in a real pinch, you can use a little heat and reshape it, which I've had to do a couple of times on the trail. But still, it is lovely. It carries very well. It's nice and tight in there. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no rattle. I very much wish I could just carry this as my all-day, everyday EDC. But a lot of places which have very stupid rules exist, and I will give you an example. Where I work, you can carry this. This is the Vortex Model 1 from Tuya. But you can't carry this. Fixed blades are banned by name. Okay, whatever. So it is easier to carry a folding knife. A lot of places that have size requirements, you got to carry something small, right? But if I could just carry a knife that I wanted to every day, at this point, it would either be the Nyala or the Sparrow 7 at this point, because this thing is fantastic. It is so good. Let's do some size comparisons with tools you may be a little more familiar with. We're going to line it up right here on this line. Just leaning into the old school vibe. I'm just feeling nostalgic today. Here it is against a Para 3 and a PM2. You can see the PM2 is considerably bigger. Overall size, the Sparrow 7 is really close to the Para 3. What on the table that's interesting? Well, a lot of things on the table that are interesting today. But we'll just do our old friend, the bug out. We should probably compare it against the same knife. That would be good. Yeah, inch for inch, it is virtually the same size as a bug out. So if you like the size of the bug out when it is open and in your hand, the Sparrow 7 is going to suit you really, really well. For hiking and camping, this is probably my most common combination right now. I don't, and I will never love the scales on the bug out, but it is very light, and that's nice. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, it's a fairly average sized knife in many ways. It is very lean. Where are my magic calipers? Ah, there they are. High quality tools brought to you by Amazon. Okay. At its thickest, the Sparrow 7 is 10 millimeters, almost 11 millimeters, which is, yeah, it's considerably less than a half inch. It just sits on the belt really well. What I would like, and what I'll probably do, is get a Kydex sheath made for this with a clip on this side so that I can just clip it to the front pocket, on the inside of the front pocket. I'm not there yet with this, but it's coming. Keep your eye on the Lynch website. I'll post a link to their website and to their Instagram, which is where a lot of this information comes from. These have not actually dropped yet on their site, but it's coming. And if you're interested, there is no reason not to get one of these. It's just an excellent little fixed blade. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Lynch Northwest Sparrow 7. I have been a Therapeutic Edge. If you have any questions about this knife or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. What do you look for in a fixed blade? Do you like them bigger, smaller? What's ideal for you? If you're thinking about it when you watch this video, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, remember, gang, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and we'll see you next time.